Hey everybody, it's Brock and we got a brand new episode of All About. Today we'll be learning all about the Bellus Angelfish, also known as the Ornate Angelfish. The females are going to be much more sought after as they have a very dark blue and black coloration that really pops under some LEDs, while the males are mostly tan with orange accents. A school of these swimming around is a great sight to see in an aquarium. Jumping right into it, you're going to be paying a whopping $250 just to get one of these fish. And that was just me searching around online, and what I've seen in the past, other stores were asking $300 and above for one. So you're going to pay a pretty penny to get one of these angels in your tank, whether it's a male or a female. I'd recommend 120 gallon or larger, as these angels can eventually get up to about 7 inches in length. So you end up with a very healthy, large-sized fish swimming around in there. Whenever you have a larger fish like that, it's going to mean they need more room to swim around. They're going to be eating more food, which eventually leads to them producing a lot more waste in the tank. I'd say they're moderate to take care of. Mainly has to do with them adjusting to the tank setting and being a bit stingy when it comes to feeding, especially whenever you're trying to feed them new things yourself rather than just eating things in the wild. They do best in a seasoned reef tank that has lots of live rock for grazing algae and exploring through the caves and overhangings throughout the day. They're actually a very peaceful fish to have. You really do not run into much aggression or territorialness from them unless you try to put two males together in the tank. Then you'll definitely see some fighting between the two. They actually are a reef-safe angelfish to have. They do not nip at your soft or stony corals, not even your clam mantles like a typical angelfish does, which can be really hard to find. Your Korans, your emperors, those really pretty angels, all can't be in a reef tank because they will eat that stuff up. Temperature, you want to keep it 72 to 78 degrees, DKH 8 to 12, pH 8.1 to 8.4, and your salinity 1.020 to 1.025. So everything's basic there. Keep up with your water changes, have a really nice rock structure for them to explore in. It's a good sand bed on the bottom, some nice filtration. I'm telling you, he'll do great in there. The Bellus angels are typically a deep water reef dweller, so a darker tank is actually better for them. More blue goes a long way for helping them be comfortable in the tank setting. However, on the flip side, we have seen great luck with other reefers keeping them in a more brighter, typical coral tank. So kind of depending on which route you want to go, but just know from the wild, they're in a darker setting. So those blues that you can crank up on your LED lights, that'll keep them really happy. Max size, like I said earlier, can get up to 7 inches by adulthood. Colors, of course, depend on the route you want to go. Do you want just a school of females in the tank for that dark blue and black coloration, or are you going to mix one male into the group for that orange coloration to pop out? Just keep in mind that Bellus angels are hermaphrodites, so even though you have a group of females, one of them can change to a male. There's even been cases where males are reverting back to females, so they can go both ways. It's a wild thing of nature. Like clownfish, you might see them reproduce in a large reef tank, just if you have a pair in the tank or you have a school of them, but it's been very difficult for even experienced reefers to keep that fry alive past that point of actually seeing them grow up to be, juvenile angels. The Bellus angel is an omnivore, so you'll want to be feeding plenty of algae to the fish. Algae should be the main thing in their diet, as it's going to keep their colors bright, their health up, and if there ever is a chance that they catch a disease or a parasite, that algae in their system is just going to help them heal up a lot quicker than an angel without it. So if there is a chance you have some natural algae in the tank, even if it's hair algae in there, leave it, because that's going to give them some time to eat on that as they get accustomed to you feeding something like dry seaweed on a clip. Aside from algae, you want to feed plenty of meaty food too. Even if your other fish are snacking on things, they're going to come up and eat it too, so they end up being an omnivore in the tank setting. So whenever you're feeding things like mysis, spirulina, brine, even pellets and flakes, they'll come up and eat those with your other fish too. Bellus angels are found around the Philippines and Japan and other surrounding islands and through there, so that might be another reason why their price is a little bit higher. It's going to take a little bit more shipping, catching, all that good stuff goes into it to get them over here. Compatibility, as always, just ask. I'm always down to see what you have in your current tank and then to see if this fish can go with it. Like I mentioned before, you only want one male in the tank at any time and as many females as you want. However, with that price tag, I know it's not going to be easy to just drop a school of Bellus Angels in a tank. They do well with other reef fish too, so if you got things like wrasse, gobies, tangs, even other angelfish, they're all going to do really well together. And that'll do it for the Bellus Angelfish. Hope everybody enjoyed today's episode. Hope it gave you a good high level of what it's going to take, what it's going to cost to keep one of these Bellus Angels. If you've ever taken care of this fish before, please leave your experience down below too so a future reefer can read about it. The more experience we have down there, the more opinions that we gather, the better we'll be able to take care of these fish. Of course, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see y'all later.